Won't you spare me over till another year? Well, what is this that I can't see? With icy hands getting hold of me. Well, I am dead, none can excel. I open the door to heaven and hell. Too late to all farewell. My soul is doomed, so keep me well. As long as God in heaven dwells, your soul shall scream in
Alright, so the curator is back. This creepy guy.
Oh, you're here. Have you been waiting long? It's always good when a familiar face returns. Obviously, you're in the mood for a new tale. It's so good to have company. For a long time, I was on my own. I can barely recall a time when I wasn't here, watching over these tales. And what good are stories without somebody to experience them? This is a story about those who create and the lengths they might go to for their art to be made pure. Art can elicit all sorts of reactions: delight, inspiration, desire, yes, but also doubt, fear, dread. The way you react, the decisions you make, would affect this story. Hidden in the world, you'll find dark pictures. They give glimpses of the possible consequences of your choices. And sometimes it's the smallest choices that can have the biggest repercussions. You're responsible for what happens. You're culpable. I can't interfere. That's very much against the rules. I can only observe what happens and record any significant events. Oh, ever seen one of these? They're very old. People used to call them obels. They'd put them in the mouth of the recently deceased to pay the ferryman. Look out for them. You'll find them in the strangest places. I'll be happy to exchange any that you find, and I'll certainly make it worth your while. Well, shall we start? The game is afoot. I will be watching.
My name is Kate Wilder. I've got a master's in criminal psychology. I'm an investigative journalist and hope to make a difference. You may have recently seen my interview on Chicago AM on... and yeah, it's really tough when just being honest means everyone thinks you're a bitch. I'm not. Sure, I've got issues to deal with, same as everyone. I'm working on it.
Hey, I'm Mark. I study photography at UCLA. Had a great time. Really want to get back into some serious photography. But yeah, it's a job.
I've done a key grip and lighting test for years. See a problem, light it. You don't often meet someone like that. Man, how do you even start? I'm sick of being on my own.
Sorry, do you start with qualifications or, like personal info? Because I mean, will anyone access this? I'm kind of private, actually.
Yeah, Charlie Lonitz, UK originally. I've been here for 20 years. The last series was so on track. It was a very beautifully conceived and didn't quite hit the mark as I was hoping it would. It's a fucking mess, to be honest with you.
I think we've heard quite enough.
Enough? Oh, I've barely begun, Your Honor. You don't seem to understand. I was born with the devil in me. I could not help the fact that I was a murderer any more than a poet can help the inspiration to sing. Bury me deep, Your Honor. Make sure they fill my pine box with cement. Put me deeper than anyone else. And cover the ground with more cement, 'cause trust me, just being dead ain't enough to stop me from killing again.
On May 7th, 1896, Herman Mudgett, aka Henry H. Holmes, was sent to the gallows. His neck did not snap from the force of hanging. Records indicate he hung, slowly suffocating for over 15 minutes, until finally, the monster was dead. America's first serial killer confessed to 27 murders. But as investigators sifted through the traces he left behind, following his path from city to city, the number grew significantly. Nearly 200 lives. America's first serial killer, and possibly the worst. He was buried as requested, under concrete. Was he hoping to hide from God's judgment? Or did he truly want to keep the devil from climbing out and killing again?
So, what do you think?